Welcome everybody, LevelMDiecast. This is episode 29. Diecast haul time. The most random video we do here. We do like this one though. I'm going to start off with some monster trucks. Didn't have any monster trucks the last time, but we do have a few this time. Nothing fancy, just a couple of new ones. This is the newest version of Bigfoot. New for 2023. This guy cracked out of there. Plastic and stuff shooting everywhere. Get those off of the studio. The blister kind of blew up. Comes with one of these crushed vehicles on there. The off-road truck. Just in green. So nothing fancy with that one. There is the Bigfoot. You can see my particular Bigfoot is missing the print on the rear axles. So not a big a deal. It is what it is. So it's the one I picked up. So nice prints on this one. Does have Power Wheels on there. Hot Wheels Summit. It says 7068 right there. Some flames and stuff on it. The bed is painted up black, which looks pretty cool. The old school version of the F-Series pickup. So that one looks pretty good. It says Power Wheels on the front as well in the bumper. So kind of interesting. Dietz on the top. Throw him over there. This is a new casting, I think, for monster trucks. This is Freestyle Wreckers subcategory, but it's Board Wild. Let's get that right. New for 2023. This is the adaptation of a mainline model into monster trucks. There's some other cool stuff coming this year too, like an R34 monster truck. Comes with the crushed car one. In yellow, not that great. These, these monster truck things just kind of hooked together. Pretty rudimentary, just to make a little bit of play value. So there is Board Wild. Does say Hot Wheels on there on the skateboard. Monster truck. You can see there is a rubber band on there because the rider comes off. The skateboard is fixed, but the rider does come off. So we'll get the little rubber band off of there, which is very snugly placed on there. Take that one off and get the other one off as well. We'll just take the rider with it. Makes it easier. So there is your rider. I don't know if the rider is the exact same scale as the mainline. There's a little logo on his chest. Super hard to get that in focus. Do apologize. Such a small piece. Then on the back, it does have a nice little logo on the back. That one's a little bit easier to read. So that one looks pretty cool. Of course, the monster truck is the same chassis, same everything else as all the rest of them. Then, of course, your rider just stands on the top. Goes on there very, very easily. Looks very, very good. It's ridiculously oversized, but it's still kind of cool. A couple more here. This is also new to the same case. This is Bread Boys. This is the food service truck. New for 2023. In case you guys are curious on this particular mix, there is the mix code there at the top, HLR89. This one comes with the truck, just like the first one did. Same color and everything. So here is your Bread Boys. Nice print on the side. A couple of guys on there apparently cooking food. A little bit better to see it on the top. In orange with some white wheels. Does have an opening side piece. Sometimes that's kind of a pain to open. Sometimes it's easy. A lot of print in there. A lot of sandwiches and stuff like that. Looks pretty good. The side little snap here is just plastic. That little door. There is the rear part. Looks pretty good. A little olive on top of the sandwich. Other than that, same old. So throw him to the side. And I finally found me a treasure hunt in monster trucks for once in my life. So this is the treasure hunt for this particular case. Almost every single treasure hunt is going to have this red stripe on the tires. Helps you kind of identify. This is the iced time machine. Iced out time machine. So get him out of there. This particular one comes with the wagon in orange. So I think there's like 4 different ones total for the cars that they have. There is your iced time machine. Does have some frost around the windows. Looks pretty good. Lots of print in the back there for the flux capacitor and all that good stuff in there, machines and whatever else is up in there. It says out of time on the back like you'd expect. DeLorean on the bumper. There is your treasure hunt logo right there on the back corner. Very, very, very small. Still looks pretty good though. So nice prints on it all the way around. It is kind of Zamek finished and then does have like this kind of a frost done over it. It actually looks pretty good. I actually did a really good job of this one. That one's actually pretty fancy. So pretty happy to find a treasure hunt for once. So do have a treasure hunt monster truck for a change. All right, we got a couple of these track trucks. This one is the Cyber Rig. This one I don't think is a new casting, but it's a new color. So it looks pretty good to have a huge old turbo bank in the back. These are designed specifically to run on tracks. So the trailers do fluctuate quite a bit. There's a lot of movement in them. They still do separate though. They're very, very, very tight in there. There is some really cool details for the engine in the back there. It's all chrome. Ridiculous turbos on there. It looks super, super cool. Definitely something that you can probably customize with that. Very interesting color scheme. Got a blue, kind of a light blue metallic base with white and then kind of this super fluorescent pink color. This one looks kind of cool. It does have steelies on it, bigger steelies on the front. It's very small. And then, of course, there is the trailer. Really nice prints on the top of the trailer. That looks pretty good. A little bit of blueprint there. I'm not really sure what the blue's for. A little bit on the side as well. Again, just a blue base. This is metal. All the blue is metal. Everything else is plastic. So there is the deets. So get that snapped back on there. Ka-chink. Get that guy maybe right there. One more. This is a new casting. Brand new casting. This one is Rad Rider Rig in black and gold with some silver. So brand new casting. So check this one out. Crack this one off as well. Ooh. That one doesn't want to unsnap as easily. So it is a single seat there. It kind of looks a little bit like, kind of like an ATV, a little bit. Some crazy piping in there for the exhaust. That actually looks pretty cool. This is a separate piece. That is the base. It is metal. R47, little skinny 5 spokes on the front. Those nice blades on the back. Kind of a jet turbine look to it in the front a little bit. Kind of looks like a spider too. Kind of weird. Prints look pretty good though. It's kind of an interesting truck. This is the trailer. There is the deets on the side. Looks pretty good. All the silver you see here is one giant metal piece. So that's all metal. Again, just the skinny 5 spokes on the trailer. They are designed to hold cars in the back, but you'd have to put some relatively small cars on them to get them to fit. Oof. Again, lots of range of motion. And they also rotate side to side. So they can't quite go through the tightest of loops, but I think they can go through pretty much everything else. So we'll put that guy there. All right, we got a whole bunch of F-Case. The DiMachini Veloce. This is the newest color for that. I know I butchered that name, but it is what it is. This is the third version we're seeing of this particular one. It is in a kind of a teal kind of color. Looks pretty cool. It does have sparkle on the top. This is a fantasy casting, but I really like this casting. I think they did a great job on it. It looks really, really good. Prints look good on the side. Profile looks good. That is part of the interior, this hood on the front. So that is part of the plastic interior. Looks pretty good with the red PR5s. Again, the taillight section here is part of the window, so it's all clear. You can see right through that. So that one looks pretty cool. So throw that guy in the stack. Newest color for the Escort RS200. This is the third color I think we're seeing of this one. We had a release and then a red line or red edition. And now we have this one, which is not a red edition. This is just the regular release. But it does have the same style of deco. This is a new casting this year. It's a pretty good one. Little deets on the side there. Looks pretty good. I do like this casting. Prints on the back look fantastic. I like the mismatched wheels. I think it looks good. So it's a pretty good one. A little bit of a exhaust detail at the bottom for the exhaust pipe. Looks pretty good. So a lot of racing style so far. All right, this is the regular of the Super Treasure Hunt. This is obviously not the Super. This is the Renault Sport RS01. This would be your Super in the mix, should this be a Super, but this is just the regular. The Super uses those lace roll riders, so the wheels are very, very, very similar, although the Super does have the, Spectre Flame Red. This one looks pretty good. I do like the Renault is embossed in the wing on the top. Looks pretty good. Other than that, the deco is pretty average. We've seen this casting, I'd say about 10 or so times, so there's nothing rare or particularly fancy about it. All right, finally get another color of the Bentley Continental GT3. This is my absolute favorite race car of all time. Hot Wheels does a pretty good casting, although it's kind of small, but it is still pretty cool. We're kind of get similar decos. There always seems to be like a gray, a white, or a green in every deco, which is fine, but I wish we could get a little bit more print going on with this. Really would like to see this in a premium line, which would be perfect. But I don't know if we'll ever get that in premium, which is unfortunate because I think it'd be perfect as a premium. I think it'd look really, really good. So, like that one a lot. Always good with the race cars. Speaking of race cars, we do have a brand spanking new casting. This is the Audi 90 Quattro. Absolutely fantastic in the retro rides. Been waiting for this one for quite some time since it was first previewed. And it looks absolutely fantastic. This guy gets quite a bit of print. So he has full prints on each side, which looks good. Full prints on the front. There is your Audi logo. Looks pretty good. Prints on the hood as well. Got number 4. There's a lot of detail in this casting. No prints on the back. It is extremely wide, but a lot of casting on the interior. You can see in the interior, there's a ton of casting details in there. Some details in the actual window piece as well, which looks pretty good. There is the base deets. This thing is, like I said, ultra wide. So there is your deets. Throw that guy up there. Still fits in the tray, so it can't be too wide. All right, we got a tuned Batmobile. This is the classic TV series Batmobile. This is the recolor for this year. This was in the A case as the Super. This is a recolor. Obviously not a Super second time around, but it looks pretty good. It is in a kind of emerald green with some green striping on it. This one actually looks pretty nice. Kind of like the colors, emeralds and stuff to it. Looks pretty good. It's a tuned car, so it's nothing like super fancy, but I still think it's kind of cool. So we'll throw that guy up there. Another fantasy casting. This is Desert Drifter. This is the recolor. First one of the year, I think, was in green. Now this one is in red. So crack this guy open. There is the little D on the top, a little cherry on the top. It says Hot Wheels in there off of there. Kind of a fancy design. Hot Wheels underneath that rear wing as well, embossed. There is a seat in there. There is actually an interior part inside of the jelly mold there for whatever dessert this is supposed to be. But it's a fully plastic base. So the only thing that's metal on this whole thing is this white part, which is pretty bummer. But it is fantasy casting, so you can't expect too much from fantasy castings. Another fantasy casting we have here. This is the recolor for the Dragon Wagon in blue. This is the Radio Flyer Wagon. The first one, of course, was in red because, of course, it was. And now it is in blue. So this one is kind of interesting. The handlebars up here are metal, and then the base is metal, but the blue part here is all plastic. You can put one of those, Lego figures in here. So it is considered a ride-on. There's a bar in the back here you can attach them to as well. Back there as well. They can stand on the back. So kind of interesting. So nothing fancy about that one in particular. So throw that guy up there as well. Another one that is a fantasy casting, but is still kind of cool. Highway Hauler 2 does say rapid race parts on the side for Hot Wheels. Pull this guy out. Not a casting I really pursue, but I thought this one looks pretty cool. Do have those Aero Blade wheels on there. I think it looks pretty nice. Some huge turbos on the side. Looks pretty good. Doesn't open in the back or do anything like that. It is just a static model. Deets on the side look pretty good though. Hot Wheels rapid race parts. So not too shabby. Quite a bit of detail in the casting itself, but other than that, it's just average. We'll put that guy on the top because he's a biggie. All right, new to the not new to the F case, but another recolor from the F case is the Pagani Huayra Roadster. The first one debuted in a kind of a pearl white, and then they got the Zamek version, and now we have one in blue, which took off almost completely off the studio. This one looks good in blue and gold. Does have a gold interior. Some black and gold striping along the top. Looks pretty good. Some prints for the headlights as well. Kind of difficult to see that. Super reflective. Prints for the tail lights as well. So this one gets quite a bit of print detail, which looks pretty good. It says Huayra on the back. So that one's a pretty fancy one. So throw that guy up in there. We do have a motorcycle in here. This is the Ducati Desert X. It's a brand new casting for Hot Wheels Moto. They are definitely going hard in the paint with some motorcycles this year. So we'll pull him out of there. There is our Ducati Desert X. The logo on the side looks pretty good. Of course, the same lace off-road style wheels that they've been using for a little bit. A lot of detail in the casting, looks good. Looks like the handlebars are, yep, they are plastic. Nice prints on the front though. Looks interesting. So the main body of this whole thing is metal, but the white and the seat are plastic. Of course, the handlebars are plastic as well. So that looks pretty good. There's the other side. It says Ducati on this side and Desert X on that side. So that's kind of cool. So we'll kind of put him standing up in the back because, of course, there's no, maybe. There we go. There's no kickstands. All right. Dodge Viper. I do believe there is a new casting coming out for this, but for now, they're still using the existing casting from way back in the mid-90s. But this one does sport the new 3-spoke wheel that they have, which is an absolute fantastic addition, which is a perfect combination because it definitely replicates the original RT10 wheels. Pretty good. This casting's been around, like I said, forever, since the mid-90s. The black print didn't look all that good on this one. They had a little bit of splotch left over, unfortunately. But a little bit of print on the side. Says Viper RT10. No deets in the back. A couple stripes on the top. Pretty rudimentary besides that. There is the base deets. See, the original copyright date was 1992. So this casting's been around way too long. Matter of fact, that casting's probably been around longer than a lot of the people that are collecting nowadays. All right, we're getting into the money shots of the F case. This is a brand new casting. This is the Porsche 911 Carrera 2.7. This car is suddenly getting a ton of love this year. Obviously, Hot Wheels is doing it. There's some stuff coming out from Tarmac, I believe. And Majorette is also doing this car this year. So I'm not really sure how that happens where everybody happens to do the cars at the same time. But it is what it is. So a bit of casting details or materials up there. A little bit of cardboard. Sorry about that. I don't want to take away from the beauty of this particular casting because it looks fantastic. I think they chose a perfect wheel for it as well. It says Carrera on the side. So the front turn signal spots and then, of course, the tail lights, they're all part of the window insert. So that's pretty cool. So you get a nice break in there. It does have the Porsche symbol on the front. A little bit of silver print for the headlights. Same deets on this side. Looks pretty good. And then, of course, there is the deco in the back. Does have the 75th anniversary for the Carrera, or I'm sorry, for Porsche, right there on the deck lid next to Carrera. And, of course, it does say Porsche on the back, which looks pretty good. So pretty happy about that. Just one little side mirror on there as well. There is the deets for the brand new casting. That one is pretty good. Definitely going to get him front and center. All right, the newest version of the 71 Porsche 911 with Magnus Walker Deco on it. Urban Outlaw. This one, basically just a different wheel. This is not a new deco that we haven't seen before. And it's not a new casting, but we have not seen this wheel on this one, so I guess that counts. It's fantastic casting, though. Definitely like it a lot. Looks pretty good. I think the wheels are okay. Kind of a metallic blue on the base. A bit of extra print on it. We'll probably get this in a recolor this year in blue instead of red, which is basically almost a given. It says Porsche on the back, so throw that guy down there. Now I do have a pretty fancy one. I did pick up this one. This is the 99 Treasure Hunt. This is the Ferrari 512M, and no, unfortunately, that is not the black base version, because if it was the black base version, I definitely would not be cracking this. But this is a mint card, but I got this guy for like 15 bucks, I think. So definitely collect the Ferraris, the older Ferraris in the mix. So cracking this guy open. Take a look at this beauty. One of the best wheels ever. They look good on every Ferrari they make. Such a good wheel. Not a huge fan of the 512M. And I'm definitely not a fan of the casting either. But I do collect it. I do collect all these Ferrari castings from Hot Wheels. The older ones, obviously. I don't do like the 360 Modena or any stuff like that. Just the stuff from the 80s and early 90s. So this one's pretty good though. Looks pretty good. 1997. Details on there. Put him in the front as well. Another one that I'm pretty happy to get is this one. This was a Dollar General exclusive last year. I've been hunting for this forever. This is the 500E in white. The last color that I needed. Of course, this will be a premium in 2023. And not only will it be a premium, it'll also be a chase. So everybody wanting to get the 500E as a premium and or chase. Both of your dreams will be fulfilled this year. This one looks to be really good prints on it. Get that to focus. What deal is going on right here? Just doesn't like that headlight design, I think. Looks good though. Tail lights look good as well. Prints look pretty good. I definitely like this one. I think the white is the best color for it yet. So I'm pretty happy about that one. I got a couple more models here. I did pick up a new Kaido House. I actually already cracked this one open, unfortunately. I do apologize. This is the newest Z. Been a little tough for me to get some of these later Kaido Houses just because they are selling out quicker than I can get my hands on them. So this is the newest Z. This is number 46. The wide body Z in the kind of a flat red, white, and blue. It says GTS 2 on the side, number 23. Nissan on the wheels, looks fantastic. Deets on the back, Nismo on the plates. Of course, that awesome crazy colored base, which is all metal. It looks super good. And what we'll do is we'll take something super dramatic and metal and horrific, and we're going to shove it up in there and maybe get something small enough. Let's see. What? So the way you got to open these is I think this is purposely why they're designed like that, is you put some up there so you can pop the hood. So that's what you do, is you pop the hood. That way you can get the hood open. So get that, there we go. There is the deets. It says Kaido House. Super awesome details on the engine, look fantastic. You can see all the way through it, looks good. Little side mirrors on the side as well. A little gentle when you get the hood down. Sits perfectly flush. So definitely like that one. So pretty happy to finally have that one. So we'll throw this back in the little box. And throw him maybe... Let's put him on the side. Now I have a couple of new ones that are a brand spanking new brand. This is not something that I've ever had before. This is actually a new brand. Essentially from Mini GT, sort of. This is BBR models. This is the Maserati MC20. There are two versions. This is the box. Just kind of an interesting box. It does say BBR models on the side here. It does have your Maserati logo. It's got a tray in it, so it's just an open box. I actually really like this box design. Looks pretty good. The car's a little difficult to get out, but the box design is pretty nice. So get the car to cooperate a little bit. Put this around. Put this back in there. So the card sits in there like this. Take the plastic cover off the top. Take the model out. This is the MC20 in black, which looks really, really good. It looks exactly like a Mini GT, you know, same quality and whatnot. Wheels are fantastic. Not a fan of the wheel style, but they look perfect on this model. A lot of carbon fiber detail down here on the bottom. Looks pretty good. Back end looks good as well. It says MC20 on there. On the base, it does have BBR printed. You see, these does look strikingly resemblance to Mini GT and just everything with Mini GT. So they come from the same company. So looks pretty good. They are a little bit more expensive than Mini GTs, but they seem to be exactly the same good quality and whatnot, which is kind of interesting. Then, of course, I do have one in white. Well, I do say white, but this is more of a kind of a chameleon white. So get this guy to slide out of there. It's just super tight in there. So this one has a lot of hues when you rotate it around in the light. Hopefully that shows up on camera, but you'll see blues and pinks and all kinds of stuff kind of hue out of there. It looks pretty good. This one looks far better than the one in black just because you can see all the detail to the casting. That black one just soaks up all the light and you just can't see all the details that are there. But this one looks fantastic. Of course, side mirrors on the side, they are hard plastic. So that is definitely one difference between Mini GT is they are not soft. So if you drop this or something, you're going to be in some serious trouble. So that one looks pretty good. So throw that guy back in there. Put him back in the tray. And then, of course, on our channel, we always have some weird oddball stuff. And I found one of the coolest, weirdest oddball things ever. Now, I already had one of these Lotta 2121s in blue, but I've never found one in the box. And I actually came across this one at a show, I want to say 2 weeks ago maybe. But this one is brand new in box. So this is 1/43 scale. It's got steering, opening doors, opening hatch, opening hood. All these details underneath here. Look at all the details in the base and the axle. It's all metal. This one is super, super cool. I have not taken this out of the box yet, but I suppose we could do that now. Now, I have shown off the blue one before, so there's not a whole lot of difference here. At least I don't think there will be. So, just a hard piece of plastic. I didn't expect that. So, be super careful when you take this guy out. Watch the mirrors over there. So, see, it's been in the box for way too long. It's got all kinds of residue from the little piece of styrofoam that's in there. So, has lensed taillights. They're a little bit crooked on this one, but that's not that big a deal. Wheels look pretty good. Of course, it has steering. Looks pretty good. Doors open. A lot of detail up inside of there. Door panels done up as well. The windows are kind of half down, which is kind of a cool detail. They are metal. The side mirrors are metal. The, what do you call those? The windshield wipers. Sorry, I had a complete brain meltdown. And then, of course, there's a spare tire inside, which is very, very tight fit in there. There's a rubber tire on there as well, which looks pretty good. It's pretty cool because it's like a basic steely. It's just cool. It's just super cool. So, needs to be cleaned up just a little bit. There are the details in the front. Lensed headlights as well. Lensed tail light or turn signals. See the hood rubs on the front there a little bit. So, scratched it a little bit. But my blue one is the same way. So, there is no suspension on this, but it does look like there's a suspension. So, there do have springs and stuff in there, as you can see. but it doesn't actually suspend. Looks pretty good on the base as well, so kind of interesting. A little bit of a hidden tow hitch in there as well, so I won't try to put that back in there on camera because it's kind of a pain in the butt. But just something super cool, super different as well. And then we got 2 more items here. We got one more thing that's kind of different. This is from AutoWorld. So this is, I think you could buy these from AutoWorld's website, but I bought these through, just a standard distributor. There's one for the mom and there's one for dad. So the mom is the new 1984 Dodge Caravan, and then the one from the dad is the F-150. So I'll pick this one up because, of course, we collect this particular casting because I think it's just such a ridiculous casting that they've made. There is the deets on the back. So there is the checklist right there. Shows you the 2 of them. Shows you first release of 2023, which we have already pulled version A of. We still need version B. So crack this out. This does come with some display stands. So just pull the little display stand out. We'll get the model out. Get that off. There is the Caravan. So it says Go Team in there. Some flags on there as well. Blue interior to match the blue exterior. Looks pretty good. There's a ridiculous amount of detail inside the casting. Winners on board, it says. That's super cool. Has a Florida plate. Looks pretty good. Deets on the side. #1 champions. Just so ridiculous. And of course, it does have an opening hood. So, super, super tight. AutoWorld hoods fit so perfectly snug. There is your engine down in there. Looks like maybe the 2.2. Little crappy 4-cylinder down in there. But it was made to move people, and that's exactly what it did with its ugly quad stacked headlights, which was not that great. They did go to facelift, I think in '88, and it looked a lot better. There is the base deets, so nothing fancy on here. Just a super cool casting because, of course, it's a minivan. And then this is the display it comes with. There's 2 little notches in the back to keep it from rolling around. You just set it in there. And it comes with some swappable cards in there. #1 mom, world's best mom. This might be something for you guys coming up. There you go. Mother's Day is not that far away. So that is kind of cool. Very interesting piece from AutoWorld. So obviously we got it for the Caravan because we like the Caravan, but other than that, it's just cool. It's different. Kind of get that on the screen. And then the one last item I have here is just a regular Johnny Lightning. This is the 76 Plymouth Valera Roadrunner. Project in progress. Just a casting we collect here. Comes with a little collectible card. It says it is a yard bird. There is the whole set from this particular release. Pull our Valera out, and it's project in progress. Does have some primer on the front, a little bit of work done on the front. The logos on the side are all wearing off, and then of course it is a little bit of rust on there. Does have a opening hood. So there is the engine block down in there, very as far as it opens. So unfortunately that's all we can get in there, but still looks pretty cool. And then there is the side that you can't see in the package. One primered door. And the back end done up a little bit. Logo is wearing off as well. Does have a plate on there. Get that to focus. It says Acme 1. So, of course, rubber tires. So that one's pretty cool. So throw that guy down there. So there you go. That is Diecast haul number 29. Not a big one. Not a fancy one. But it's not too bad. So let me know what you guys think about those. Drop a comment down. I read every comment. Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Catch you next time. Level M. Peace.